Hey, mighty men of God, Joe Martin here with Real Men Connect, where we help good men become great men God's way by providing with real answers to real problems in the real world. Forgive the glare in the back. Obviously, the sun is in my back. And welcome again to the Real Men Ride Along. Guys, this is traffic version of Real Men Ride Along. I'm stuck in traffic on my way to a speaking engagement, which based on my GPS, I should be there in time, but it's slowing me down, so I'm a little bit nervous. But I decided I'm going to shoot a quick video while I have some time in the car to kind of think and wait. And I wanted to shoot this video because I don't know, a lot of you may know that I do some coaching in addition to discipling men and mentoring men, but I do some private coaching one-on-one with men. And I had a man that I was working with, a young man, who was complaining about why God was not answering his prayers, and he couldn't understand because he's been seeking God, reading his Bible, praying earnestly, and he was actually upset and mad with God because of it. And maybe some of you can relate to that when you try to, quote, do everything right, and for some reason your prayers are falling on deaf ears, or it seems to be that God's not listening. Well, I kind of shifted the conversation for him because I really wanted him to get a different perspective, because the way he was looking at it is if, wow, if I do check all the boxes, do the right things, God should do something for me. And so I challenged him by giving him a different perspective. I'm going to challenge you on this Real Men Ride Along. Is I asked him to think about something that if he could have it and God could give it to him, what would it be? In other words, he's been making a lot of prayers, but let's get specific. If you had to pick one thing that you desire more than anything else, what would that be? And obviously for him, after he gave some time and some thought, he had been unemployed for a period of time, and he was unable to provide and take care of his family. So what he believed he needed the most was a good job, So I kind of enticed him a little bit more. I said, okay, so if that's what you want. Now, he was having some other struggles in his life, which he didn't even ask for help for that stuff. He just wanted a job. He thinking that if he had a job, it would solve all of his problems. I think you get the point. So I tried to entice him a little bit more. I said, okay, not only then will God give you a job, but you were promised not only a job, but a job paying you a six-figure income. Six-figure income that would resolve all of your financial woes, all of your financial problems, and you'll be able to provide comfortably for your family. And that kind of got him excited a little bit. I said, guaranteed. Now, however, and I said, would that be satisfying? He said, yes. I said, however, though, it came with one stipulation. He says, what's that? And I told him the stipulation was that in that job interview, and this God giving you this job, he's asking, I can give you this desire of your heart. However, are you willing to trade in this job for the work that my son did on the cross for you? Let me say that again. I can give you what you're asking for, Joe Martin, or this young man, or whoever out there is watching this. That desire in your heart, that thing that you want more than anything else, I can give it to you. Would you trade that in for what my son did on the cross for you? In other words, to this young man, I was telling him, if God gave you this job, he said, okay, but that means that Christ died for Joe Martin, but he didn't die for you. Would you trade it in? And I asked this man to be brutally honest with me. Brutally honest, as if he's never been honest before. Ask him, would he trade it in? And he said, yes. He would trade in a job for what Christ did on the cross for him. And my heart broke for the young man, but I understood, and I didn't judge him, I did not condemn him, but I did enlighten him that if you would take a job over the finished work that Christ did for you on that cross, and God giving his only begotten son for you, why is he obligated and required to bless you and to give you the desires of your heart? And I put it in context for him because he has children. What if your son or your daughter was willing to say, give me a job, but you can kill my father? How would you feel? Guys, this is not a deep conversation. It's just perspective. You know, there's a lot of things that we want and what we desire in our heart and we don't always get. And sometimes we get upset with God. But when you think about it, hasn't he given us enough? Hasn't he given us enough? Was Jesus' death on the cross enough for us? Well, I can't speak for you, but I can definitely speak for myself. Yes, it was. And even though I may throw a temper tantrum, roll around on the ground and crying and whining and screaming, I would never trade in the thing that I'm desiring in my heart more so than what Jesus did on that cross for me. I am forgiven and it is finished. And I want Jesus Christ to know, and I want God to know that your son was enough for me. Is he enough for you? Guys, if this video is blessing you, if it has blessed you, this message is a message that you think a young man in your life that you're mentoring or discipling needs to hear, please share this video with him. And let him know, maybe he needs to decide if God is enough for him. I told this young man that your problem isn't a God problem, it's a soul problem. And you need to search your soul to see what's most important to you. Because in the end, all this stuff is going to be gone. This car, this video, this podcast, this Real Men Ride Along, all these videos, these things will be gone. It'll be rubbish. But the one thing that's going to remain is what Christ did for us on the cross. So please remember that we are males by birth, but we are men by choice. So remember that you need to be the man that God has called you to be each and every day, because a male is a terrible thing to waste. So until next time, be blessed, stay strong, and as always, stay in God's grip. Pray for me as I go speak to these teenagers. Talk to you soon. God bless.